Chapter 2. The Computer System. After this lesson, you will be able to learn about computer memory, which is used to save data, understand the various parts of computer system, know about the IPO cycle, identify CPU and its parts. The computer system. A computer needs special devices through which data can be fed and received. It also has a unit which takes care of processing to give meaningful results. Computers can also store data or instructions for future use. All these parts have an important role in the functioning of the computer. Let us see how a computer works. Computer and its internal function, the IPO cycle. A computer works as follows. The user feeds in data using the input device, input. The data goes to the CPU, where the CPU comprehends it and does what is to be done to the data, processing. The CPU sends the result of the processed data to the output device, which is usually a monitor or a printer. Output. Input device, processing, output. Hence, we can say that a computer functions on the basis of the input-process-output cycle. This complete cycle is called the input-process-output or IPO cycle. Let's do it. Given below is a box where some examples of input, process and output from day-to-day activities are given. Fill in the blanks wherever required in this box. 2 are done for you. All these important steps of the functioning of a computer are carried out with the help of special devices. The computer system, as we know, is not a single device but consists of many different parts attached together. They are attached externally with the help of cables or wires, therefore they are called peripheral devices. Input devices. Devices that help us provide input to the computer are called input devices. Important input devices are keyboard and mouse. Keyboard. Keyboard is an input device. It usually includes alphabets, numerals, and common symbols used in everyday life. Keyboards are connected to the machine through USB parts. The special keys on a keyboard are the function keys on the top row perform different functions depending on how they have to be used. The alphabet keys enable you to enter words and letters. The numeric keypad located on the right side of the keyboard allows you to enter numbers quickly. The navigation keys, such as the arrow keys, allow you to move your position within a document or web page. Web, email, calculator, sound keys, function keys, status lights, escape key, cursor and screen controls, numbers, directional keypad. Mouse. A small device used to point to and select any icon or menu on your screen is called a mouse. It is sometimes also called pointing device. A typical mouse, as you can see in the picture, looks somewhat like a real mouse connected to the system by a long wire. The above-mentioned things are the essential input devices without which it cannot function. Besides these, a computer system can also have the following attachments to perform more functions. Fact file. The first prototype computer mouse was made to be used with a graphical user interface in 1964. It was called a mouse because of its tail-like cable, but in reality it was just a hollowed-out wooden block with two metal wheels and a single push button on top. Microphone. It's a device which helps to transmit voice for many different purposes, such as audio recording. It is an input device. Scanner. A scanner is an input device that captures images from photographic prints, posters, magazine pages, and similar sources for computer editing and display. Webcam. A webcam is a small camera that can be attached to the CPU. It is placed on the top of the monitor. It can capture the picture of the person sitting in front of the monitor. The picture thus taken can be saved and edited on the computer. It is an input device. Process. There are special devices that help the computer to process data. These are called processing devices. The CPU is the processing unit of the computer. CPU, Central Processing Unit. CPU is called the brain of the computer. That's because it handles the entire computer system. All the different software and hardware of the computer are managed by it. It performs various calculations and tasks that make programs work. The faster the CPU, the quicker programs can process computation. One of the major functions of the CPU is also taking care of the principal storage of the computer. All the data and instructions that the computer needs at that moment are stored in the CPU. This is the temporary storage area which holds all the data and instructions. It is called the computer's primary memory. Primary memory further consists of the RAM and the ROM. RAM, Random Access Memory. RAM is the temporary memory of the computer that holds instructions and data. When the computer is switched off, the contents of the RAM are lost. It's just like a calculator. The moment we turn it off, we lose the contents. It also stores internal instructions temporarily and thus is known as temporary memory. Random access memory. ROM, read-only memory. ROM is computer memory that can permanently store data and applications within it. It keeps the data safe even after switching off the system. It is also called permanent memory. Read-only memory. Output devices. Devices that give us output are called output devices. Important output devices are the monitor, speakers, etc. Monitor. An instrument or device used for observing, checking, or keeping a continuous record of a process or quantity is called a monitor. We can also call it Visual Display Unit, VDU. A monitor displays information in visual form using text and graphic. The portion of the monitor that displays the information is called the screen, just like a television screen. Speaker set. Speakers are one of the most common output devices used with computer systems. They are used to play sound. They may be built into the system unit or connected with cables. Printer. A printer is an output device that is used to take a printout of your work done on the computer on a paper. This printout is also called hard copy. Headphone. A device consisting of a pair of earphones joined by a band placed over the head for listening to music or speech. It is an output device. Fact file. The devices attached to the computer system are called peripheral devices. Summary. A computer works on the input-process-output cycle. Keyboard is used to feed in data into the computer system. It is connected to the system through a wire. A mouse is an input device that is used to point and click on icons. CPU is also called the brain of the computer because it manages the entire computer system. Primary memory is of two types, RAM and ROM. RAM is a temporary memory, while ROM is a permanent memory. Monitor or VDU is the device on which we see the result of the processing done by the CPU and is like any TV screen.